Hello, everyone. This hour on Verbling, the next in my Getting Results in Business series. We are right in the middle of our 14th unit in the upper intermediate level, Business and Culture. In this unit, you discuss different cultural beliefs and values. You practice the language of talking about an anecdote, that is to say, narrating a past event that took place in another culture. And you will review the grammar to talk about narrative tenses, to narrate, that is to say. And the final case study, you will be faced with a difficult situation which requires a good level of intercultural awareness to solve the problem. And so we'll be solving the problem after we've had lots of practice in the other classes. Today's class will be focused on the key expressions to narrate a past event. Okay, more about that in just a minute. First, a little bit about me. I'm John Eric. Let me put my slide back on the screen. I'm John Eric, your Verbling teacher for this hour. I'm an American teacher from New York, hanging out in Lisbon, Portugal to bring you this class. By the way, 3 quick rules to help you participate. Don't forget to turn off, tune in, and open up. That means whenever you're not speaking, turn off your microphone so we can keep the classroom quiet. Also, please tune in to the new words and the expressions you're learning. That means use them as actively as you can so that I can correct you and give you feedback. That's how you're going to learn in this class. Finally, open up to your classmates. Relax and have fun. We're all here to learn, and this is a safe and respectful place to practice your English. And that is a little bit about me. Let's say welcome back to our esteemed regulars, the excellent Dr. Raphael. Hello, Raphael. How are you today?
Hello, teacher. I'm pretty well.
Teacher? Oh, me? Oh, okay. Right. Oh.
Sorry.
And we've got Sylvia. Welcome back, Sylvia. Long time no see.
Hi. Yes.
And we've got Piotr.
Hello, teacher. How are you?
I've never seen you in the business class. This is your first time.
It's my first time in business class. We will see.
Oh, you're going to have fun.
I hope so.
And welcome back, Salwa, from the last hour. Nice to have you. By the way, Salwa, where are you from? I forgot to ask you.
From Egypt.
From Egypt. Okay, very good. If I know where you're from, I will remember you the next time. I don't know why, but it usually works that way.
Okay.
Now, let's say hello to some new faces out there. It looks like we've got another Peter, not Piotr, but a Peter.
Yes, hello, it's me.
Ah, there we go. Your connection was a little loud. Now it's better. And where are you from? Are you from Poland?
No, I am from Hungary.
From Hungary, okay. You have so many consonants in your name. I thought Polish, but Hungarian. Got it. Nice to have you with us, Peter. And let's say hello to Megumi. Am I saying that right? Megumi?
Yes. This is first time for me to taking your class.
Hello, Megumi. And
Hello.
where are you from?
I'm from Japan.
From Japan. Megumi from Japan. Whereabouts in Japan? Whereabouts? Where in Japan?
Oh, in Tokyo.
In Tokyo. Okay,
Yeah.
very good. Well, this is how it works. We have about 8 classes in a row that build our skills. Let me show you, first of all. All the notes of our classes are here in the class material, but I'll post them for you in the chat window if you want to open the notes, because all the materials are in one place for you and you can review them after class. I'll open the notes for you right now, and then we'll go to our new material, which will be in a presentation. And I'll share it on the screen, but I put it here for you to find it after class and to review. Okay, so you know you got it open when you see this blue graphic, Getting Results in Business, which will take a minute to load because Google Docs is very slow, unfortunately. There we go. No, not yet. It's not quite loaded. It's starting to be. Okay, I'm going to scroll down past everything else we've done. There's my contact. Let's go down, down, down. This is all the material we've done so far. We are in the upper intermediate level. We're on the 14th unit. You can see we are here, culture. After we do this, we'll have to divide the group into 2 groups because not everyone is going to feel comfortable in the advanced level. So probably we're going to have to divide the class into 2 groups, one at intermediate and another one advanced, or something like that. I'm not sure. But anyway, we're not there yet. We still have 2 more units to go. And you've got a table of contents, but a new class always begins on the 6th page. So you can just go to the 6th page, and here we are. Everything we've done so far. So what I'm going to do, for those of you who were not here last Thursday, is I'm going to review some of the key words that we've learned. And then you'll have a chance to, key expressions that we've learned for talking about what we called a cultural incident, or something like that, a critical incident. Something that could prevent you from having a normal or a good relationship in another culture, something you might not have been aware of. So we're going to go back and do a little review. So I'm going to share with you the homework on screen right now. And I will also open the second presentation and we'll get to more practice. But let's go to the homework first. Even if you weren't here, we're going to try this out just to give you an introduction. If you were here, it'll be easy. If you weren't, actually, wait a second. I don't think any of you were here last Thursday. None of you were there. Right? None of you were here last Thursday, right? The only one there was... No? Okay, so then we're going to have to do this differently. No point in reviewing if you haven't seen the material. So look, let's go here. We're going to go right to a little mini class from last Thursday. We're going to repeat the class because none of you were here, but for those of you watching who were here, we're going to move on to new material halfway through. Okay, let's start from the beginning then. So, we learn key expressions through listening. You need to hear the actual situation, the real context. So let's find out about that context first. Okay? So Piotr, could you read the context so we know what we're going to be listening to?
Okay. Context. Critical incidents are communicated.
Incidents. Good.
Critical incidents are communication situations which the participants find problematic or confusing. They often consist of a misunderstanding, a linguistic mistake, or some kind of cultural
faux pas. Right.
They are events that can highlight different cultural beliefs and values. They are about ways of behaving that might be interpreted in different ways by different people, particularly when people from different cultural backgrounds communicate with each other.
Okay, so we have a definition of a critical incident. So, what do you think would be an example, based on what you read, what do you think would be an example of a critical incident? Or can you think of one that you might remember from the media, from the news? A critical incident, based on that definition. So first of all, Piotr, can a misunderstanding be a critical incident, Piotr?
Yes, of course.
Yes, it can. Can a language mistake be a critical incident?
Yes.
So we know what a critical incident can be. Can a critical incident occur in your home with your parents?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. So now we know what a critical incident isn't. It involves people of different cultures. Okay? Hopefully that's more or less clear. Let's find out. So, can anyone think of a critical incident based on what we read? What's a critical incident you can remember from the media? or from the news, or from even whatever, gossip, doesn't even matter. Can you think of a critical incident, something to give a good example?
Yes, I have one. I think so.
Go for it. What is it?
For example, in Islam country, you can welcome with shaking. No. You can't give someone left hand. For example,
Right.
to welcome.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that right? Let's ask someone out there. Salwa, you're in Egypt, right?
Yeah.
Is that true? Is it rude to use your left hand in Egypt?
I didn't. What he means by left hand means. Oh yeah. It's insulting. By right hand, when we're checking, we always use our right hand.
And so, if I touched you on the shoulder with my left hand, would that be rude in Egypt?
For women's, yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
So in Western culture, we wouldn't think about it. Okay, maybe we don't want anyone to touch us. That could be a problem.
Yeah.
Americans don't touch each other. Europeans touch each other. Americans don't. But it doesn't matter if it's the right or left hand. So that would be a good critical incident. What do you think? In Egyptian culture? What else could be a critical incident? Just out of curiosity, if I was an American tourist coming to Egypt, what's something that I would have to be careful about, so I don't want to have misunderstandings? Can you think of another example? I'm just curious, Salva.
Okay.
Is there anything else that I should or shouldn't do in Egypt?
I'm thinking that.
Or is everyone pretty much relaxed?
I can't figure one now.
Then maybe there's nothing else.
Yeah.
If you came to America, one thing is, and it's not going to be obvious, but one thing is personal space and touching. If you stand too close to someone, they find it really strange. They won't say anything, or they might if they're in New York, but they'll find it very strange. They'll think that you want something from them. They won't know how to react. Unless you're on the metro and it's packed, then that's different. But people have a greater personal space, at least I notice, than here in Europe, where I am now. Does anyone else have another example? So we've got using your left hand, maybe in the Middle East. We've got personal space in America. Can anyone else think of any others, or an example from the media that they've heard? Any other ideas? What about Japan, Megumi? If we're visiting Japan, aren't there certain things that we should do so that we fit into the culture, Megumi?
Yeah.
Like what? If I look at you straight in the eyes, would you find that weird in Japanese culture?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little weird, right?
People don't hug each other or shaking hands each other really often. If people from America or some other European country hug me,
right?
It's a little bit weird.
I will never hug you, Megumi. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Thank you.
So, it's weird, or it's a critical incident. Because this, in business context, we would say it's a critical incident. It's a moment of cultural misunderstanding. Okay, these are good examples. I think you all get the idea. Here's what we're going to do. Jose was here. You were here last Friday, weren't you, Jose? Last Thursday, I'm sorry. Jose, you were here last Thursday, weren't you? Jose, are you there? Hello, Jose? Jose Valles, are you there? Uh-oh, what's happening to your microphone? I don't hear Jose. Maybe Jose is asleep. I don't want to repeat what you did last time, but since I don't hear you, I can't get your opinion. What I want you to do is, last time we did this as a listening, but today I want to just do it a little bit faster as a kind of review. So what you're going to do is listen to a critical incident, is read a critical incident. We're going to read this as a dialogue. I'm going to ask you a few questions, and then I'm going to have you tell the story back to me, or tell a similar story. And you'll see the story here. Whoops. There. You'll see a similar story on slide 11 that you're going to tell back to me as soon as you use the language that you've learned by reading. So let's go back here. You'll see here some of the key words that you're going to practice, but we're going to get them into context. Okay, so first, we need a Dieter and we need a Tonya. Let's get two readers. Okay, so maybe we can have a new person. Let's have Peter, you're new, and
Yes.
maybe let's get someone old. We'll put you with Sylvia, so we can have Peter and Sylvia. Peter, why don't you read Dieter, and Sylvia, can you read Tonya for us?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and everyone, I want you to pay attention to not the main ideas here, but I want you to pay attention to how the story is told. How do we narrate this past event? What are the key words and expressions used? Pay attention to them. I'm going to test you on them at the end. Go for it, Peter.
Okay. There was one situation I remember while I was living in Korea.
Korea. We say
Korea.
it in American English, Korea.
Korea. Thank you. You know, I went out there to help with an engineering project.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of lines, Sylvia. You just keep reacting. Yeah? Oh? Really? That's all you do.
Well, I was responsible for a team of telecom engineers, great guys. We all got along very well, and I was welcomed into the company as if I'd lived over 4 years, over there for years. As time went by, I noticed that things weren't being done that I would requested them to do.
That I'd requested. I'd requested.
Okay.
Repeat.
Oh.
Repeat.
That I'd requested them to do.
Good.
Oh.
Oh? Question. Oh?
Oh.
Your voice
Yeah.
got to go up. Oh?
Oh.
Good.
Yes, if I asked someone to do something and they said yes, 9 out of 10 times it wasn't done. That was when I was aware we had a problem.
Well, that's understandable.
Yeah, but it was actually nothing to do with language. And it wasn't until I talked to a Korean friend that I realized what was wrong.
What had you done?
Nothing. I told my friend what had happened, and he explained that there were two problems. First, my team didn't want to refuse my request due to respect for my seniority, but also they didn't want to give an argument why they couldn't do what I wanted. So their answer was yes.
I see. So you mean that they didn't want to admit they couldn't do what you would ask them to do, or was show negatively towards you by saying no?
Whoops. Wait, I skipped a page. There we go. Sorry.
Exactly. Luckily, I found this out before I confronted anyone about the jobs that hadn't been done.
And did you resolve it?
Yes, After that, I was a lot more careful what I asked my team to do and how I phrased the request.
Okay, very good. So, what was the problem, class? What was the problem there? Let's see if you're paying attention. Nobody remembers the problem?
The problem was that Korean workers didn't want to be rude. And
Okay.
they wanted to be polite, and if they couldn't do something, they just said yes, and they just didn't make work properly.
Yeah, basically, that's it. They felt it would be rude. And Jose, are you out there? Because earlier I couldn't get
Yes.
through to you.
Yes.
Ah, there we go. Were you able to hear and read along?
More or less. Yes.
Yeah, okay. What was the issue with the Korean workers? They didn't want to say no because why exactly? What was the main issue for them?
The main issue.
The reason why they didn't want to say no, or they didn't want to ask questions, they didn't want to give a negative impression. What were they worried about? What was the main idea here? Do you remember? Remember, they're the workers, and they had to talk to their boss, right?
Yes.
So what was that key issue, since they were workers? We can maybe even go back here a page. Oops. They thought it would be disrespectful because... If you're not sure, take a look at Dieter's line on the right side.
Yes.
And what does Dieter say? He outlines the two problems. It was out of respect for what?
Two problems.
Mm-hmm.
One problem is the language.
Could be. Could be language. You didn't really say that, but could be. What's the other? Class, help him out. Maybe not language, but something else. Help him out.
Yeah, here as written here. First, my team didn't want to refuse my request, so that was because the respect for his seniority.
Seniority is the word I was looking for.
Yes.
So when you're given an order in that culture, you just do it. If you don't do it, you're being disrespectful.
Yes.
And if you can't do it, you just say nothing, apparently. Okay, I just want to make sure that was clear. That's why I'm asking. Just make sure the details aren't slipping by all of you. There was some language used to tell the story. I want you to look at the first column on that slide and tell me one key expression used to tell the story. To tell maybe specifically about an event happening in time. Can anyone pick one key expression out? Is there a good time expression in particular?
There was one situation.
Mm-hmm. Where are you reading? Oh, right in the beginning? There was one situation I remember. Okay. So it's a good introduction, isn't it? There was one situation I remember. Good introduction. Okay. I
Okay.
agree with you. That's a good start. Are there any other expressions used to narrate the story, particularly time expressions? Anyone else?
9 of 10 times.
9 out of 10 times it wasn't done. It's a good expression, 9 out of 10 times. Okay, it's okay. It's not one you're going to use all the time. So it's not really for narrating the story, but it's a good expression. But it's not what I want. The answer is
As time went by.
as time went by. That's a good expression for narrating a past event. Don't you remember the movie Casablanca? As time goes by. Remember that movie? Anyone? Humphrey Bogart?
No.
No. Famous movie. 1941, I think. Humphrey Bogart, Lauren Bacall. You must remember this. A kiss is just a kiss. A smile is just a smile. As time goes by was the name of the song in Casablanca. Oh, don't you people watch classic movies? Okay, we're going to go on to the second dialogue, and then we'll pick out, or actually I will quiz you on some of those narrating expressions, like as time goes by. So, Raphael, can you do Gabby for us? Is that okay?
Yep.
Great. Salwa, can you take Nico for us in this dialogue?
Okay.
Okay? Go for it.
I was responsible for finalizing.
Listen, finalizing.
Finalizing.
That's it.
I was responsible for finalizing the new office building in Warsaw, along with my manager in the Netherlands. While I was liaising
This
with
one is a
both-
little bit difficult because it's French. Liaising. Liaising.
liaising.
That's
While
right.
I was liaising with both the police employees and my manager, I discovered our two cultures had quite different approaches.
Go on.
Well, for example, when we were finalizing the plans for the office space, my manager wanted glass partitions,
Like this.
But-
Partitions.
but the police employees hated the idea.
Oh.
Like this. Oh?
Oh.
It's a question, yeah. Oh? Oh means tell me more.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, but then I realized it. They
I
hadn't
realized.
Then
That's it.
I realized they hadn't actually told him this. They told me and hoped I'd tell him in their behalf.
Salwa? 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 Uh-oh, we lost our
Okay.
Salwa. Ah, there we go.
So what did you do?
I told him it seemed that no one of them wanted to question an authority figure. So that was the first problem solved.
There were more?
Oh yes, another situation occurred when I was mentoring a recent IT graduate, Magda, while we were developing a new database. I gave her the job of asking staff for their views on the database. I even put together a few sample questions.
What happened?
Well, she came back with very little information. I was extremely disappointed. What's more, the information she had only related to the questions I'd written. She hadn't written any question of her own to get useful information for us. I didn't know what to do. All in all, it was a difficult situation.
So what did you do?
Well, in the end, I asked Anna, a Polish colleague.
Colleague.
What was her view?
Well, despite Magda's qualifications, she was still the most junior person in the department. So, apparently, more senior people would be unwilling to answer her questions.
Careful with that one. Answer. Right.
Answer her questions.
Oh, a hierarchy thing.
Like this. Hierarchy.
Hierarchy. Oh,
Good.
a hierarchy thing.
Good.
Yes, it came about because of the lack of information about why we were questioning them. It seemed that Magda also wasn't comfortable
Like
with the
this.
task.
Comfortable. It looks like 4, but it's actually 3 syllables. Comfortable.
Comfortable.
That's it.
Magda also wasn't comfortable with the task, so she didn't add to the question I suggested.
So, how did you solve the problem?
Well, I sent out a memo explaining what Magda would be doing and why. I also note Magda's qualification and wrote the memo in English. The reason being that Magda needed to be respected by her colleagues, and English gave the note neutrality.
And?
It really surprised me, but it worked. Okay, very good, very good. So we're going to go right to just a quick question here. I lost the page. Hold on. I wanted to go to... All right, never mind. I thought I had a question for you, but I don't see it on the screen. Let me see. Megumi, let me ask you a quick question before we do this exercise.
Okay.
Are you there? So, what was the issue? What was the issue in Poland that you just read and heard? What was the problem in general? In your own words, what was the problem there?
Yeah, we can't get along with the manager.
Okay, so a junior couldn't get along with the manager? Is that the idea?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. And, okay, good. And Sylvia, would you add anything to that? Because when you say can't get along, it sounds like they're having a personal problem, right? So I don't know if it's a personal problem. Sylvia, would you add anything to that? Or would you say it a little differently?
No. It wasn't.
Was it a personal problem between them?
No.
No, what was it? Remember, in your own words, just based on what you heard and if you were reading along. It wasn't a personal problem. What kind of problem was it?
More about critical incidents. In fact,
It was a critical incident. Yeah, it wasn't a personal
more
problem.
about different culture.
It was. And in fact, it was solved by using English. Partly, it was solved by not using Polish. So that was part of the issue. And Piotr, was seniority an issue in the Polish incident?
Yes, exactly.
It was. Okay, I hope it's clear, everyone, because I don't want to spend all day asking questions because it will slow the class down. But if there's any questions about what's going on, please ask. I hope everything's clear. I think you all get the general idea, okay? I think so. What I want to focus on now, if there's no questions, is those key expressions, like as time went by. You've got them all up there on the top. I want to go around the room. All of the things you're going to read, you've just heard or read a moment ago. Nothing is new. All you have to do is put in the missing keywords, and then afterwards you're going to use them to tell a story of your own, a cultural incident. So the first one we can do together. If you've already done these, then, because we did do this last Thursday, so I guess it'll have to be a bit of a review, okay? So the first one we can do together, give me just a second. I have to open this on my computer. Give me just a minute. Well, never mind, because it's not opening on my computer. For years, blank, I noticed that things weren't done that I requested. For years.
As time went by.
Oh my God. Very good. As time went by. So that's the idea. For years. Blah, blah, blah. So you have to remember what was said before. Something's blah, 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 blah for years. As time went by, I noticed things weren't being done. So these were all taken directly out of the conversation from before. That's why you see the 3 dots. And Jose, you were absolutely right. Okay? So let's go around the room. The next is Megumi. Try the second one for us, and I'll help you out if you need it, okay?
Mm-hmm. It wasn't done. I was aware we haven't.
It might help if you read it and just say the word blank when you get to the space. Like this. It wasn't done. Blank. I was aware we had a problem.
So what? I was aware we had a problem. No? Due to?
Doesn't sound. No, don't work with due to.
It came about. I don't know.
Uh-oh. It does help if you can go back and remember the part of the conversation. This was between Dieter and Tonya. This was the situation in Korea they were talking about. So the task wasn't done. That's the idea. The task wasn't done.
Task wasn't done. Oh. So,
I'll give you a hint. At that moment, I was aware we had a problem. What's another way to say at that moment?
that was when?
Perfect. That's it. So the first one is time went by. As time went by, I noticed. The second one is at that moment, I was aware we had a problem. Very good. That's it. Peter, try the third.
Okay. Well, that's understandable. Understandable. Yes.
That
So,
is correct.
That's understandable.
Very good. Piotr, try the fourth.
Okay. And second. I need a second.
You can read it like this, Piotr. And blank. I talked to.
Okay. And blank. I talked to a Korean friend that I realized that was wrong. And
So this is a later moment in time when the person figured out there was a problem.
okay. And in the end, I talked to Korean friend. Yes or not? Probably not.
Probably not.
Okay.
Right idea, but not the right expression. Because it's not really at the end. It's before the end. It's the moment when we figured out the solution.
That was when?
You could say that. That was when I talked to a Korean friend. But there's an even better choice.
Even better choice.
Even better.
Oh,
Because we used that was when for number 2, so we can't use it again.
okay.
Number 2 was that was when. Number 3 was
So-
that.
And so that was
And so that was I talked to doesn't sound right. And so that was I talked to. It doesn't sound right because you have was and you have talked to. Why would you need two verbs?
Okay, but then I talked to a Korean friend.
But then I talked to a Korean friend that I realized was wrong. That I realized what was wrong. Still doesn't work. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I selected four answers.
And they're all wrong.
Oh my God, what's wrong with me?
Nothing. The material is difficult. The material is difficult. What you can do is go to slide 5 and slide 6. Actually, I think it's on slide 5. And see if you can find it.
Okay.
Can you see it?
I wasn't until. It wasn't until.
That is correct. That's the right answer.
Yeah.
So the point is this. If you don't remember the conversation, no problem. It's a long conversation. Go back, skim through the text, right? And pick out the key word. And the answer you said was correct. Okay. Say it again for me, please. Say it again.
And it wasn't until I talked to a Korean friend that I realized what was wrong.
Absolutely perfect. That's it. Okay, Raphael, the last one for critical incident 1. Last one, number 5.
My team didn't want to refuse my request. Blank respect for my seniority. Due to.
Correct. Due to means because of. Due to my respect. Due to respect for my seniority. That's the reason they didn't get anything done. Out of respect, they would prefer just to say nothing. That's it. Excellent. Critical incident number 2. Salwa, number 6.
Okay, yes, blank. I realized that they hadn't actually told him this.
So now we're in the Korean situation, if I remember right. No, the Polish situation, sorry. We're in the Polish situation. The situation, part of it was with Magda, who didn't do the questionnaire the way she was supposed to. And we found out that there was actually 2 things that happened, if I remember right. It wasn't just Magda, there was something else. So if you're not sure, I would suggest taking a look back at Gabby and Nico. See if you can find it. I'll give you a little hint. It had to do with the first situation.
But then?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. So read it again, the whole thing.
Yes, but then I realized they hadn't actually told him that.
That's exactly right. But then, meaning at that point in time. But then. That's it. Very good. And we're up to Sylvia for number 7. Remember, we're still in the Polish situation. Critical incident 2. What do you think, Sylvia?
I was speaking without okay, authority figure. So that was the first problem solved.
Excellent. That's it. So that was the first problem solved. A way to draw your attention to that there was a resolution to the problem, a way to emphasize it. So that was the first problem solved. It's just an expression. It's not an obvious one. You really have to learn it. It's not something you would normally say, but it's a good expression here because it adds emphasis that you solved the problem. Okay? Very good. We're back to Jose for number 8.
Me?
Yes, you're Jose.
Okay.
You're the only Jose in the room.
Okay. Okay. So what did you do?
So what did you do?
So what did you do?
That's it. It's a
So
question.
what? Yeah.
So
what?
what? Okay, excellent. We're back to Megumi for number 9. What do you think, Megumi?
Well, Blanca asked, and a Polish colleague. Oh,
So again, this is the moment where we figure out the solution. It's not, well, anyway, that's all I'll say. This is the moment where we find the solution. Do we find the solution in the beginning of the story?
Oh, well, in the end,
In the
I
end.
asked, and. Mhm.
That is correct. So another way to add emphasis and to show that it happened as a result is to say, in the end. Well, in the end, I asked Anna. Okay, very good. And last one is Peter, number 10.
Yes, okay. So, yes, it came about because of the lack of information about why we were questioning them.
Perfect. Those are your expressions which help tell the story. In other words, indicate a sequence of events, which explain the reason, and which show that people are listening or encourage for information. So 3 ways to categorize these. Indicating the sequence, telling the story, is A. The reasons are B. And showing interest or encouraging, basically showing that you're listening, is C. All right? So which of these are, I want you to divide these up. What can we say? I want you to give me one example of each. Helping to tell the story. Give me an example. I'll put these back on screen for you. Helping to tell the story. Which one would you say would be a good example of helping to tell the story?
As time went by,
Exactly. As time went by, I'm just telling the story. I'm narrating the events. That's it. What would be a good example of explaining a reason for one of the incidents? Someone other than Piotr this time.
It came about because of.
Okay. That was number 10. Absolutely correct. As a result, it came about because of this reason. Very good. That's it. What would be a good example of showing that you're listening or encouraging more information? What would be a good example? Someone other than Salva this time. Someone else. Someone else could be Raphael, or it could be Sylvia. Could
Hi,
even be...
teacher. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, I'm sorry for being late.
No problem.
You
Will you-
continue to your class.
I will. And thanks for joining us, by the way. So, who's got the last one? What's a good example of an expression for showing you're listening or encouraging more information, getting more information out of the speaker? Jose, you should get this one because you're the one who answered this question the first time. I remember. You should get this one. My challenge to you, Jose, is to remember what the one question you answered. Jose, are you there?
The first, yes, the first sentence.
What is an example of encouraging the speaker to give more information? It's the one that you said earlier. Remember what you said?
It seems that no.
You asked a question in number 8, did you? Critical incident
Number
2,
8. Number 8. So.
Yeah.
Number 8. Okay. So, what did you do?
Exactly. Exactly. I remember you had answered that one. So that would be a really good example for encouraging more information. So what did you do? Tell me more. You could just ask a simple question. All right. Now that we've got them categorized, I know we didn't categorize all of them, but you know the basic 3 categories here. Some expressions for narrating the story, some are for giving reasons, and some are for getting more information. You've got that in your head. I want you to tell a story. I'm going to show you some pictures, but first you need the background, okay? So, Megumi, do you think you could read the background for doing business in Indonesia. This is a cultural point here. Could you read that for us?
Yes. I will read these sentences.
Please do.
Doing business in Indonesia, it's important to offer refreshment to guests. This is seen as respectful and polite. Guests should wait before drinking. Their host will indicate when drinking can commence. Often there is a pause between receiving the drink and being asked to drink. The sign to drink may indicate that business is over. Make sure you wait and follow your host's example.
So, if you're in Jakarta and someone pours you a drink, should you drink it immediately, Megumi?
Oh, in Japan? No?
No, in Indonesia.
In Indonesia.
Should you drink it right away?
They should wait.
They should wait.
After the
and
business
who?
is over.
Right. And who will tell you when to start? Who?
The host.
The host. If you come to my house, who's the host? Me or you?
Oh, you. It's
exactly.
You.
Just to be clear. Okay, very good. So, is this the same in Japan too, Megumi?
No. If you invite someone to the house, the host, the first of the meeting, the host recommend the tea.
Right.
Not after the business is over.
So the first thing you do. Okay.
But guests will wait after the hosts call them to drink.
So you have to wait. Does the host tell you when to begin, or you just watch them and know? Everyone drinks at the same time. Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Okay. It makes sense. I don't see anything strange about that. I think it's just basic politeness. I can't imagine. I would do the same thing in America, but I know that in America it's not so important. Not where I'm from. So look, here is the same situation we just read about. What I want you to do is to use those key expressions to tell the story. I'm going to give you all one picture, and I want you to tell that part of the story. Okay? And we'll all get a chance to do it, and then I'm going to ask you to tell a story about your own culture. Okay? So, Megumi, you're going to take the first picture. Jose, you're going to take the second. Okay? Peter, you're going to take the third. And Salawa, you're going to take the fourth. And together, the four of you are going to tell the story about the incident in the pictures. Picture 3 is the one that's really important. Notice what she's doing in picture 3. And to help you out, if you go to the next slide, slide 12, you can see the same expressions that we just used. They're all there for you. So if you have this open, you can click on slide 12, and you can go back to slide 11 to see the pictures. And what I'll do is help you out if you need it. Give me a second so I can open this on my computer. And I might give you help by telling you one of the key words to help you. For example, I might say, do, and then you have to remember, oh, giving an explanation is due to. So I'll help you out if you need it. Sorry about that. Okay? So, let's give it a try. Megumi, you're first in the first picture.
Okay. Last year,
remember, you're telling a story about you and a colleague. So imagine this happened to you, okay?
Last year, I went to Indonesia and had a meeting to negotiate a new contract with Indonesian people.
Okay, it makes sense. You're in Indonesia. You'd find Indonesian people there. Okay. So far, so good. Jose, next.
Yes. Near end of meeting, it really surprised me when refreshments offered. No?
It sounds good. It really surprised me when refreshments were offered.
Was offered. Okay.
Because, why? Did anyone drink the refreshments, Jose? We're in Indonesia. Did anyone drink?
No.
No one drank. That's why it surprised you. I want you to use the key expression due to. So say it again, but this time say due to give the reason. So one more time.
Near end of meeting, it was surprised me when refreshments was offered.
Due to
what
happened? Nobody drank. Nobody drank anything.
Due to nobody drank anything.
Mm-hmm. So you have to make it fit together in a sentence. When you say due to, it's good. You have to say there's a missing word there. Due to.
Anybody drank anything, no?
Almost. Look at the chat window.
Okay.
Can you see what I wrote? Can you see what I wrote? The verb in chat is...
Due to the fact that anything drank...
due to the fact that no one...
Then no one drank.
Drank what?
Drank anything, no?
That's it. Jose, don't say no, because it sounds like you're not sure.
Okay.
Be confident. It sounds good. And plus, I'll repeat it at the end so you can hear a native speaker say it right. Okay, so Jose, listen and repeat. Near the end of the meeting. Repeat.
Near the end of the meeting.
It really surprised me.
It really surprised me.
When refreshments were offered.
When refreshment was offered.
When refreshments were offered.
When refreshments were offered.
Due to the fact that.
Due to the fact that.
Nobody drank anything.
Nobody drank anything.
Drank
anything.
Very good. That's it. That's it. Peter, third picture. What happens? What happened?
Yes. Yes, but I was so thirsty. So and the refreshment looked really tasty.
Yeah.
That's why I picked up my cup and tried to drink.
But then
my colleague said, "Wait, don't do this because it's not polite."
It's not polite. Okay, very good. So, but then is the linking term we could use here. The linking term. But then my colleague said, "Wait, it's not polite." Or my colleague stopped my arm. Stopped me. Okay, very good. And that was Peter. So Piotr, the last picture. What happened?
Okay. And when my friend stopped me from drinking tea and being rude, negotiation completed, and our host invited us to take refreshments.
So that was when.
So that was when.
Gulp, gulp, gulp.
So that was when.
So that was when.
Drank the refreshment.
Yeah. That was when I drank. That was when I was able to drink. Something like that. All right. Not bad. Here's what I suggest you do. In the past, I've given homework. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know I don't know if it's a good idea for me to give homework. If you want me to give you homework, I will, but you've got to tell me. But today I'm just going to give you a suggestion. Go back to that slide and write what happened using the key expressions on the next slide. Write it, send it to me, and I'll correct it and send it back. I have homework for you to do as well. I'll send it this time, and you have to tell me if you think it's useful. Because the problem with Verbling is that it's very hard. It's very difficult to go back and find you in the system and send it to you. All right? But I'll try it. All right? We'll try it one more time and see how well it works. By the way, the homework you can actually see because homework is always in the notes. So we're going to do homework 2. That means you can just go to the notes. In fact, I'm not going to send it to you. I'm just going to tell you. Go to homework 2 in the notes, which is on page 6, and you can do it and correct the answers yourself. But I also suggest that you write in presentation 2. So you got homework 2 and presentation 2. I suggest you actually write what happened using the key expressions. And if you do, send it to me in the Verbling chat window, the Verbling message system, and I'll correct it and send it back to you, okay? That would be a good way, because not everyone has a chance to speak today. In tomorrow's class, we're going to be moving on to a practical application of what you learned today, and we'll begin to look also at a grammar point that came up. So we'll be doing 2 things. In the last 2 classes, we're going to put all the skills together in a realistic role play where you have to solve a cultural problem. All right? Great job. Great to see new faces, everyone. I'll be back tomorrow at the same hour for this class and 1 hour before for great short stories. Bye for now, everyone. See you soon. Bye for now.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, thank you.